Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm super excited to interview Roya and Somoya, who are from Afghanistan, that they are building ventilators using used car parts. And this group of 14-year-old students are incredible. They are building this innovative piece at all costs and against all odds. And yeah, it's incredible how courageous they are in such uh, unprecedented environments to create something that is so needed in their country. And I'm also really excited to speak with Roya, who has founded Afghan Dreams, which is an organization that pushes STEM education in Afghanistan. And yeah, excited to hear the story. So let's get started.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, Roya?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time on your weekend to take this interview. And yeah, so just a bit of a background is that I have been digging out stories on just following on the news, like how amazing, there are so many amazing things that young people are doing amidst this crisis, and read about the story of your team. And yeah, so love to feature more people that are making a difference and serving the community. And so a couple of weeks ago, I spoke with Avi Schriftman, who is a 17-year-old teenager that created the NCOV 2019 website with over 700 million visitors now. And first part of my interview is also asking more about your background and your story. And Roya, you're an accomplished tech entrepreneur and you've founded Afghan Dreamers. And yeah, tell me more about Afghan Dreamers and your background.
Sure. My background, coming from the tech industry. I'm a tech entrepreneur and I also graduated by background. I am a software engineer. And we started the Afghan Dreamers or robotic team almost 3 years ago. Before I go to the story of the Afghan Dreamers, I have to give you a little bit background about what we are doing and what happened that we came up with the idea of the Afghan Dreamers. In 2014, I left Afghanistan and I started a foundation called Digital Sun Fund with one dream and one goal. With the dream to see that technology is an accessible option for everyone, with the goal that to see that technology can be in the hands of the young women in developing countries, especially Afghanistan, that they can learn about technology and financial literacy. So we have trained, what we are doing is train the young women to learn about the digital literacy and financial literacy program. And we have 15,000 of the girls come to our program. Every year we have 2,000 students or 2,500 students, between this 2,000 and 2,500 students from high school age of 12 to 18. And they learn about very basic things, how to work with the computer, and some of them go to the advanced classes to learn about coding, and they learn about social media, building games, and they also learn about financial literacy, and some of them start their own startups. We have more than hundreds of them. They started very small startups. We also have helping with a couple of the teams that they are in advanced level. One is the Afghan girls robotic team, and the other one is the girls who are doing building the games. And we have a team of the teenagers that they're working with art and electricity. And then we have also a team of teenagers that are started their own startups. Afghan Dreamers 3 years ago, the former president of the first school wall contacted me and said that if I know a team of teenagers who can participate in the first school wall challenge, the robotic competition that bring all the teenagers from around the world in Washington, D.C. And I told him, I don't know about the teenagers knows about robotics in Afghanistan. And he told me, there, find a team or build a team. And then I decided to build a team. And we decided to build all girls team because this definitely sent a message to the girls in Afghanistan and as well to the girls outside of Afghanistan. So we took an exam from 150 students, and then we ended up with 20 students, and then 6 of them selected for the competitions, and they went to the United States. But I mean, they were supposed to go to the United States, but they couldn't get the visa, and then we using the social media to telling our stories, and then finally they could go to the United States. But what's happening when they come back to Afghanistan? And, and that was, I mean, they got a silver medal, and they could be able to change the view of the men's, the ability of the women's ability in the science and many other industries. Was the power that our youths and their courage against of the backdrop of national tragedies. And they have the infections power to install hope, and that was a reason we could continue with the Afghan Dreamers. And so far we have 15 students that they are under the name of the Afghan Dreamers, working with robotics program.
Amazing. Yeah, I remember when I was researching this particular team with Somaya's ventilator project, this really I remember reading about this on the news about the Afghanistan girls like visa getting rejected, and so it seems like you've been making waves and really advocating girls in the STEM field for quite a few years now. What inspired you to start the foundation and start this movement to begin with?
Well, I think that for myself, when I was age of 16, for the first time I saw the computer, and that was a change full of my life, and I decided to make the technology to be center of my career. And I have seen the power of technology in my personal and professional lives. And that was the reason that I saw that there are millions of girls in Afghanistan, many other developing countries, that they are curious but giving no vision to explore the world. And all I wanted is to giving them the same access that I had when I was 16 years old. And I'm really proud of this new generation that, I mean, back my time, I just got so excited about this computer, internet connections. But now these teenagers building robots, they go for competition around of the world and compete with many other teams. And that's make me like to feeling proud, and in the same way can say that time is changing and technology is very powerful tools.
It's incredible how accessible it is now, right? Like with building robots or using AI technology to create their own project or startup. So yeah, I think we're living in very exciting times. So tell me more about the team with Faruchi. You know, how did they come together? Like, did they meet under the Afghan Dreamers project, or how did they come together to create this ventilator prototype?
The team is, they usually coming for different classes, and what we do, we take an exam from high school students and those who are getting good numbers, and especially from the students that we have trained them. They go to the, they can come to the Afghan Dreamers. They learn about the computer, robotics, and electricity, and some of them learn about mechanical engineering, depending to the time that we have. But now, right now, because of COVID-19 or because of the coronavirus, there is a lockdown in the city, and we cannot have the in-person training due to the regulation and safety, and that's the reason. Right now, we're mostly working online. And for ventilators, it was just a month ago, the former governor of Herat requested the student, and not only Afghan Girls robotic team, but a couple of other engineers and companies to come up with a solution for a shortage of the ventilators. And then that's why the Afghan Girls robotic team says, yes, we wanted to participate in this challenge. And 5 of them participated. And then they're trying to building this ventilators that it actually is do automated back volume mask ventilation that can be billed less than like $500, and can help with the patients and the treatment for COVID-19. And this device was supposed to be actually reduce the load of existing on existing advanced ventilators and help the people, especially those patients in respiratory diseases, but not in really in critical stage. And it should be work with physicians and doctors, and they have to be there. And right now, this device fairly nicely compressed BVM with a mechanical system. And then, but this is a prototype, and if we wanted to use this, the ventilators in the hospitals, we need a couple of other parts, which we are trying to find it, but we can't find in Afghanistan. You know, that is very challenging time at the moment, and especially to source the parts and equipment, and it's very hard for us. But the good thing is that before joining this call, I had just a call with the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Afghanistan. I requested help from them, and we are going to send them lists, and hopefully they can find those parts for us from the neighbor countries or around. And if we have those stuff, then maybe those parts, we might be able to make the ventilator a little bit more advanced to look like the real ventilators. But it's not really real ventilators, but it would be, we can say that clinically can be approved to be used, or it's more safe to use it. And then beside of the ventilators that the girls are working on that, there is also another team of us that are working with electricity. They are designing the UV technology or UV tech to be able to killing the viruses and germs in hospitals, in workplaces. We do not have a lot of the UV lights. We could only find from the shops only 2 of that. So they are working on building the first prototype as a scanner, and hopefully if we will be able to resources this UV lights, we will be able to work in the robots that we can help put it in the hospitals.
That's amazing. So both projects sound super cool, and I just have so many questions. So let me dive a little deeper into the ventilator project. And so under $500, you guys were able to create a prototype. And an average ventilator, how much does it cost? Like a couple tens of thousands of dollars, right?
Yes, I mean, those ventilators are very professional, and they can do a lot of the things for the patients, but this one is just a mechanical or automatic. We can say that is more automated bag volume mask ventilation. So it's just can give a consistent and accurate ventilation with positive pressure on the BVM. And but then we have to be able to making sure that this is healthy to using in hospitals. We still needed to add a couple of more parts on that, which is would be different for the cost of today, and that's but that's make it the ventilators to be more safe to be used in hospital, or clinically be used. So that's what we are right now thinking about that, and we are kind of a little bit cautious about that.
Yeah. So and the whole, like with the whole lockdown that's been happening, I've read that, you know, just crazy story about how the team had to get some special permits to get to the workshop. Tell me more about like the behind the scenes, right? Like this is a group of 14 years old to 17-year-old girls that I assume are living at home, and they have to try so hard to get out of their home and get their fathers or to drive them to the workshop. So I'm very curious about the process. Like how long did it take to build the first prototype? Like how the whole team even meet up to do this?
Well, I mean, you know that the city is locked down, and there is no, I mean, the governments wouldn't allow the people come together to work, and I accepted that hospitals and like doctors, nurses, and the people who have to work for the governments for special offices. So those have special cards that they can go outside, but then the one team doesn't have it, and then we could get only one card. And it was very difficult because we have also coaches and teachers who working with engineers who working with a team, and we didn't know to give this card to whom. And then the students have to come out, and it was little bit at the beginning, at the first 3 weeks was very like lockdown, was very restricted that the students should come. But the other problem is that the shops closed. Everything is closed. And if you wanted to get one part, you have to call someone's brothers or someone's. It here is always working on relationship, on families, friends. That someone should open that shop, and they have to come and they sometimes come illegally open the shops. And then we have to get this, then we're gonna receive the parts, but then this is not the real part that we are looking for. So sometimes happening is just a little bit frustrating, but we totally understand then the law, and we respected the law of the governments. But on the other hand, we have to also help them, and we're trying to do whatever is in our capacity. And I think that the team find that this is the only way that they can help their communities, and they're excited. It's frustrating sometimes. It gets sometimes kind of annoying, but that's how it is. And but then we find other ways that right now they prototype it and they design it and they give it to workshop. And we have an engineer who has a small workshop, so he has to build up those parts, some of those parts, based on the girls to give to them. But then the girls should also go to those workshops, which is far from the city, 20 minutes outside of the city. And that's a little bit more challenging because you have to get the permission of the family, especially at this time, to get the convince in the family. Sometimes they're convinced, sometimes not. So it's like, then you have the parents to get them in a board and then bring the girls, but we have to also understand the safety of the social distancing between students and like all of these things. I mean, it's challenging, but the most part is that when we don't have when the machine is ready, then we have only needed one small part and it's not exist. They're trying to recreate the parts, but it's a bit challenging because you have to test it and then it's not working, and it's like kind of challenging time, but hopefully we will be able to find those parts.
That's incredible. I just can't imagine getting a group of teenagers from one part of the city to another and trying to open the shop through like relationships after relationships. And it's very admirable how dedicated and motivated the whole team is. And I'm curious, how do you, what do you think the team is motivated by, despite the odds of how challenging this is to even get to the workshop, for example? What keeps them motivated?
I think that the girls, I mean, in general, everybody is in such a pandemic crisis. They're feeling they're responsible for their country or they're responsible for the community, and everyone wants to do their own part. And we can see that how the doctors and nurses, they put their lives in danger to save a lot of people's with these diseases. And I think that the girls feel that, and they feel that they are not doctors, they're not nurses, and they can't help in that way, but this is the one way that they can help in their communities. And that's why they are determined to make sure that the device is built. And I have to say that the families also are, the most of the time, are supportive of the idea. And I should also mention that, of course, the team of the teenagers, they're not working alone. They're working with their coaches, engineers, and which I have to appreciate that every person who's put their efforts and helping the team, that they will be able to finish these ventilators and UV system. So I think that we are all kind of right. To be a responsible citizen is our jobs to help our community, helping our governments in whatever capacity we have and whatever in any way that we can help. And I think that the team has found this is the only way that they can help to building these machines and kind of helping the doctors and nurses that they don't do it with their hands, and instead of that, because we don't have enough the ventilators. And so my says, if we can save at least one person's lives is huge meaning for us. And I think that's a team feeling, and we are happy to help as much as we can. And I can see that when the girls of robotic team start to working on the ventilators, we have a team who started to working on UV system, and now we have a team of girls who wants to build the game and secondary games, and they're trying to put the information for the community resilience and how the community should work in this area, but online. So this is what I can see that the girls get more motivated to join and participate in their own ways to help their community. And that is amazing. And also, I have to say, this is also the power of the education and the power of the possibility and resources. Look at these young girls. I mean, I remember my time, again, I was excited about computer and internet connection. These girls right now, at the age of 16, 15, they are building something to help their community. And I'm really proud of them. I'm really proud to working with this team, and I'm proud of these young girls, and also proud of all of the coaches and engineers and physicians who put their time and effort and believe on them. You know, they believed on these young girls, and they're trying to put their times to help them, which is amazing. And I feel that this pandemic prize make everybody to feel that we are all in this together. We are all kind of connect with each other, and we have to saving, and that's the only way that we giving, helping each other, giving love, giving support, and giving comfort. I guess that's what we needed.
Yeah, and I really like I feel so inspired, and it almost gives me goosebumps to like hear about these stories. Just it's incredible how the girls are coming together, and also it's just not just the teenagers, it's like your team, like the community that are the coaches, the parents who are allowing them to even leave the house. So I think it's like a movement that really allow people to see, wow, like this crisis actually bring out the good in the people as well. Like we want to be compassionate, we want to use whatever we have to you know contribute to our society and our community. So this is huge. And so with your work with the girls and at Afghan Dreamers. And also, oh, actually, before I go into this question, I want to learn more about the UV lights project. Like, tell me more. I didn't read anything about it. So is this a new project or?
Yes, this is a new project. We found out that UV lights, some kind of the UV lights can kill the viruses and germs in the air. And we saw that I think that the Ireland hospital used one of these UV lights, and then okay, let's do it. Then so did some search, but and I found out that we can build a scanner. We can also build the robots to use this UV lights and put in the. This is actually the lights is a little bit it's a danger for humans' skin and the eyes, but it can kill the virus. So we're trying to build one as a scanner that they can put the like cell phones and like bags and whatever they have inside of the scanner, and it can kill the like for 30 seconds, 40 seconds. They're gonna put their software, and then it can kill the viruses and germs. And then also if we can find the special UV lights with the distance, so the lights that they put, and then that's the other things that we are trying to use it for hospitals that can, when the doctors and nurses are not around, they can turn on, and then it can kill the viruses in the air. So that's the other things that we have seen that it's going to be used and is useful. So we're trying to build it up.
That's great. And I see so many different use cases with that too. Like if we can make it like a hand, like a smaller version that we can carry around, or a bigger
Yeah.
one that can be shined through the whole room to disinfect the whole room quickly. That's great. And so you're very busy. And Roya, do you have any word like? Can you share some words of advice to girls and teens? Just kids and teens who are at home right now in different countries, and like they're having school closures from the virus. Like, what kind of encouragement do you have for them?
I think that first, I would encourage everyone to stay at home and stay safe, and to listen to their governments, and they have to trust to their doctors and nurses what they are saying to them. And on the other hand, I think that it's a moment that we can stay at home, but they can do whatever we can do to helping each others and in our communities. There are so many ways that you can use technology to helping people around of your house, your neighbors, your families, your friends that you know each others. And I think that if we are staying together and staying strong, and we can pass this time.
Absolutely. I completely agree, which I think that one of advice that I was reading is that, by helping someone, we feel how fortunate we are. And so I think the more we give, like the more we appreciate what we have, that we already have around us. And one last question that I have is, what about, girls who are thinking about learning robotics or STEM? What would you advise them?
I think that this is a great thing, especially for those who loves it, who wants to be creative, who wants to be independent. I think that this is, especially at a young age, if you learn about robotics or go to the STEM education, you feel independent, you feel you get self-confidence, and it is also a great career for future because there are lots of the jobs available that they get paid very well, and we need more women to get involved. We need more voices. We need more uh, new products, and that's it's needed that to have more women in leadership position in some fields, and hopefully that we have within the next 10 years we have more women.
Yeah, and with you as the role model to look up to, I think like you're giving a lot of positive influence to girls who are thinking about exploring robotics or exploring STEM. And how can we follow your development? I see that you're active on Twitter, anywhere else like website.
We have Digital Some Fun is our website that we put in our information and projects there. But the other thing is that we have two projects which because of the pandemic crisis we had to postpone it for next year. One is that as we are trying to build in the Afghan Dreamer Institute, but the Dreamer Institute is a plan to build it up every countries, especially in different countries, that make sure that every young teenagers have the access to quality of education, especially have access to the knowledge in AI, robotics, blockchain, and cybersecurity. And then the other one is that is a big conference that we're trying to put up. It's called the Bright. It's building reliance through innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship. And the idea was supposed to bring the 600 young girls in Afghanistan and showcasing of the 100 of the new young women's innovations in engineering, in light, in the science, and as well like technology and art, and bring this special like decision maker, powerful people that they come up and can see that what the young girls can do at a young age, under 20, if you're giving them a right tools and right education, and kind of encouraging the governments in the region that they can invest the money also the money are part of the education also on the quality of education, and especially on the SAM education. So that was also another program that we had, which we are going to postpone for the next year.
Got it, got it. That sounds really exciting, and I'm super excited to follow like when this launch. And yeah, maybe if I can join, I'd love to also participate, like and witness the amazing work that you're doing, Roya. Sounds great. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I'm so excited to like be able to connect with you, and thanks for calling. Um,
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
all
Take
right,
care.
thank you. Take care. Bye.